We get an opportunity to present rarities beyond any other unique specialty store in the world when it comes to colored gemstones. And this is a first for me. I can say the Paparazzo was the first ever, and that was about 6 months ago, I believe it was, when I launched it here at HSN, part of Gem Stores, and the first time ever having the opportunity to launch yellow apatite in gold. Brand new today. And we have your choice. The most beautiful, look at that gorgeous ring in the trillion cut. Sizes 6 through size 9, all in gold. We have the matching pendant, and then we also have the matching earrings, all special customer event price. Each one up to, of course, the ring at $499 has an appraised value of over $900 up to $1,100. So huge special. Now, here's the thing where I'm so excited. Now, it's never enough time during these special gem store shows to really get into the background, but most of us, when we hear the word apatite, we think of a blue apatite. And that's the norm. And that's that neon blue that absolutely takes your breath away. Still considered a unique, very rare, special find. Well, if you've ever had the chance to see blue apatite and how it has that neon approach, guess what? Now they have done the exact same thing in a yellow, a golden yellow color that looks neon. I'm not kidding. I'm a citrine girl. I love yellow canary diamonds. This, by far, this brilliance, this clarity, this flicker of brilliance that's coming through this beautiful, rare apatite stone is unlike any other yellow gemstone color I've ever seen. I've read about the yellow apatite, never had a chance to present it. And that's what Gem Source is about. This is why we have top collectors from around the world that tune in to our Gem Source show. And it's the only gemstone show featuring all gold and rare finds that we offer here at HSN. So one of the other things I wanted to talk about is what we're seeing in the world of fine jewelry. They're calling right now the rare collectible yellow stones, quote, the yellow world. It is the hottest look for 2018 in fine jewelry. It encompasses gold as well as the most beautiful, brilliant yellow gemstones. Never seen anything as brilliant, never seen anything as clear, never seen anything as neon in color as a yellow as what we're able to get for you in this gorgeous apatite. Now it's Gem Source. It's rare finds from around the world. I have to tell you, honestly, I have probably at this point, maybe 20 pendants, 20 earrings, and less than that, well fewer than that, in the matching ring to go back to it, absolutely. So the opportunity is here. It's all about the yellow apatite. We are launching it right here, a rare, unique, special find for the very first time in the ring, all in gold, accented with beautiful white zircon, so the closest look to a gorgeous diamond. So brilliant in natural gemstones. And the values going back to what we're able to bring to you in over 7 carats in a natural yellow apatite pendant and gorgeous 18-inch chain, all diamond cut, and fully adjustable. I wanted to mention that. It's $100 off. It's $399. You might be saying, well, wow, that necklace looks like it's really close to the neckline. It looks smaller. It's fully adjustable with a beaded adjustability bead in the back, meaning you can go from 18 inches, you can go to 17 inches, you could go all the way to a choker length up to, 12, 13 inches. The chain in gold is all diamond cut, so it's fully adjustable, which is wonderful, and it goes back to the brilliance, the fire, the clarity, the unique cut, the trillion cut, and the brilliance that you will not find in any other yellow gemstone. And when you think about the different varieties that are out there, I mean, you have the canary, you have the citrine, there's yellow sapphire. Honestly, I've read about Yellow Apatite, I've seen it one time in Europe at one of the finest gem shows, and that was over 15 years ago, and it was under lock and case, and it was over 30 carats, and it was, you know, I want to say over $1 million at that time. So the fact that we finally have it here, we have a very small supplier, a very small quantity, and look at that brilliance in all 3 pieces in a beautiful suite is beyond exciting. Okay, now,